Oh, I gotta.
Yeah, you gotta hit that button. Sorry about that.
I got it.
Do you want to start this one, David?
Sure.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
In
Good morning.
United Fellowship Chapel's self-realization class. Let's have a few words. Mother, Father, God, as we come together here today, we ask for your infinite light of protection be placed around and through each and every one, that only the highest and best will come forth in our thoughts, words, and actions. Through those thoughts, words, and actions, let it lead to a better understanding of our own selves. So when we meet those on our path, we have a better understanding of them. Right. Amen.
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 Today we're going to discuss natural law, and the symbol of life, is a very good indication of where we are and knowing where you are and everything like this. And when there are certain aspects of change going on and everything like this, and when we know the symbology and the feelings of that, it helps us, it gives us a direction on what to do at that time and everything. And so there's no difference between change and the understanding of oneself, everything. So when your life is a direction of change and everything like this, and when we're going through a time where you would like to know more about what's going on at that time, this is a good way to move that to that direction and everything. And so when you plant the seed, that's not the first thing you do in natural law. The first thing that you do in natural law is to turn the soil, to put it, to bring what's on top and bring it up to the surface, and surface to the inner. And so the important thing to remember here is that you are moving, and when you plant a garden, you don't do that without plowing. Or first of all, you want to clear the land. And clearing the land is that you bring what's on the bottom to the top and top to the bottom. And that's what we do every time you make a change and everything. You're turning your consciousness to know what you are doing and what's going on and everything. And so especially when you don't have anything going on and you feel like nothing's happening and everything, this is the time to put the ideas of that goal that you have into there, and you want to move it. But this is like if you want to have corn in your life, you're going to think of corn, because that's the seed that you're going to have is that corn and everything. And so as you move along on that, from the top, there's nurturing on the top that goes in with that seed on the plow and everything like this. And if you take a look at what you do, what happens when you plow? The next step is to mix that top with the inner of the inner. As you go along on the inner path, you are changing and mixing what's on the top, what's on the bottom. And this is what happens every time you make a change. You're going to be noticing something that is different, and that you're going to be able to physically feel things going that way. Now, I want you all to remember here is that if you have a question at any time and you don't quite feel what is being said, stop me, because I don't know when enough to stop.
Okay.
So as you did what they call the movement of the earth to the top and the bottom is disking, and that clears it up there, what we do before we do that, we want to clear the land. Is that we clear the land is that we know what we are clearing, and so it's good to know what you're changing, and so you can put the life of the newness in here and everything like this. And so as you move along with it, I like to use corn as an example. I'm going to plant, you know, I was raised in a farm, you know, everything. And I always kind of wonder why the farmer had different bins with different seeds, you know. There was different kinds of corn. There's popcorn, there's field corn, there's eating corn, and it's a good idea to put them in the best pile. Because if you put popcorn into something where you're going to have field corn, you're going to have a interesting phenomenon. The field corn is not the thing to eat. The animals eat that and everything. So that's more encouragement for them and everything. So it's a good idea to know what you are changing and everything like this. So, and all you got to do when you know they're changing is that you put a direction. I want happiness, health, and wealth. And you don't have to put all three of them together. I want to be happy right now, or I want to be wealthy right now, and I want to be knowing or healing and everything like this. So that's a seed because they're not in your life. Anything that is not in your life right now and you think of, that's going to be a change. And it's going to go through the same process that we talk about and everything. And so as when you think of something, you're planting a seed. Thoughts are our seeds. And this is one of the reasons why we have difficulties in life is that we don't think these seeds have anything significance. But every time you think of something, you are planting a seed. So it's good to clear out your thoughts each day so that you don't keep on producing things that you've done in there and everything. So when you put the seed into the ground, there's another process of change taking place is that the seed starts changing from a seed to a plant. And then roots start to grow and everything like this. And the most important and powerful of change is the change, the seed turning from a seed to a root and everything. And that is when you get silence, you know, because sometimes when you think of a thing that you want to have in your life and nothing shows up. This is when life is really dynamic. It's changing the seed to a root. And it moves along in a manner that has particular situations. And the thing is that you're going to go through it every time you go through a change. Every time you have a new goal, you're going to go through this, you know. And so there's things that we can, if you know that, then when things start happening at the beginning of a change, usually there's no physical sensations. But there's a physical sensation that something is happening and everything like that, and know that something is happening, that you're moving along, that is with you, you know. And so the birth is the same process as this, you know, is that the most dynamic part of birth is the nucleus, you know, turning into the seed and everything. There's more dynamic changes in birth than there is anything else. And your seeds go through the same process of that, you know. And so know when you set a goal and nothing happens, know that something is happening. And you notice certain things. You'll notice that people are different and there's people are leaving you and people are coming and going and everything like that. This is a part of change. And when you know that, then you're more at ease and you can stay concentrating on that goal that you have and everything. So, and as we move along on this and everything, the movement of that seed into a root, the next stage it comes through, it breaks through the ground. And I always, my job was as a child was to be in charge of a garden. And I always kind of wondered why they said, when it comes to corn, they want 3 feet apart and mark where it is. And so I said, why in the world do you do that? But I just kept on doing it. You know, you're 9 or 10 years old, you know, have all that kind of feelings and everything. And what I found out when I got into the metaphysics is that there's a part of change that is opening. And when that little plant comes through the ground, it's a really dynamic through, and it's very powerful. And it comes up to be a little leaf. And you know, if you didn't know that you planted it there, you will pick it up as a leaf because it looks like a leaf, a weed. And that's one of the things that happens during development, is to move away from that you are getting rid of weeds in your life. And what are weeds? Any idea?
We are, in a sense, unnecessary thoughts that block from source.
Yeah, there's another one involved with that. That's people. When people start leaving and not being around you much more, that person is a weed too. And people are weeds. And this is a hard one to acknowledge, and because there's a lot of people in your life that you really are familiar with and like to be with and everything. And so when that happens, we sort of slow down the process. Instead of accepting it and nurturing it and everything like this, by nurturing, you go to places that are being placed with the actions of your life. And so, but I've seen people make their movement and everything like this. They just slow down. Things slow down, and then they got other things to think about. And every time you think of something, you got another seed, or you got another consciousness to concentrate on. So know that when you're in the midst of a change, that when there's people are leaving you or not being with you, that's okay. Just concentrate on it. I am happy, healthy, wealthy. You stay with your goal, and the happy, healthy, and wealthy is being formed in your life. And sometimes it's invisible, and the more you say it, the more you feel it, and the more you be it, and everything. A lot of things happen with change going on and everything like this. And this is one of the things that do that, is to change the feelings and everything into physical manifestation and everything. So know that that's what's happening. And so when I like to use corn, because corn has a major significance in life. You know, is that as it comes up, the weed comes up and turns into a stalk. And what is the purpose of a stalk? During the stalk and everything, there's nothing really physically going on and everything like this. But the thing is that you are building strength and confidence and security to be able to hold the stalk while the ears are being formed and everything. And so during the time of the building of stalk, you are igniting strength, confidence, and security, and concentrate on those areas, and you'll find something very, very pleasant with that. You eventually will start becoming clear with it and everything, and then the stock goes and grows and grows, and then another thing starts happening is the ears start to form, and this is part of change. You know, you're sensing the physical things in life and everything like this. But the thing is that you can't open up the corn stalk, because if you do that, it'll slow the process down and may kill the plant and everything like this. And so we want to allow that. The patience is important right now, so that the corn is able to heal and able to form and everything. And then when you do that, you have the ability to be aware of the change that's going on within you. And you know the reason I like to use corn as an illustration?
Why is that?
Huh?
Why is that?
Why am I using corn as an illustration of change?
Maybe because you talk about planting the seed, you fix the soil, and plant the stock up, and it becomes a strong foundation. And the corn starts to develop. You have to have that strong foundation in order to support corn
Now what proves that?
That's my
What proves that? You know, when the kernels are forming and everything like this, you can't pull the hush back, can you?
right. No.
And so you wait till the ears are fully formed. And you know
Yeah.
what we found out with the ears of corn, you started out with 3 kernels of corn. And then when the ear is fully formed, you have hundreds of kernels in that corn, and sometimes there's 3 or 4 ears. How dynamic is that from 3 little seeds? You got a stalk that may have 4 or 5 ears and have hundreds of kernels of corn.
Yeah.
And we're subject to that same law. Every time you use the law of change and everything like this and do that, you are forming, no matter what you want to think about, you are still forming that idea or not idea and everything like this. And that's why change sometimes takes a little bit of time moving along and everything, because you are always forming change. It's always constant. There's change and everything. And I had a student one time that said, I didn't believe you when you said there was kernels of corn, how many there was, So I started counting the kernels of corn, and she stopped after a while. She said, I stopped after 200 kernels.
I love that.
And so we can relate to these things and everything like this, because this is what happens when you go through change and everything. There's a time in there where it doesn't seem like anything is happening. And that's the time when everything is happening. When you get that fixed in your mind, and then you'll be able to do that and know that the underlying changes, you are forming that change in your life. And when you take in the self-realization classes and the other classes, the same thing is happening in your mind. And you'll find that parts of the things of the classes and everything like this, sometimes they don't make any sense at all. And you say, why are they saying things like that? And then all of a sudden it comes together. And you have confidence, security, and strength and everything. And you're able to put that in a nice manner with you and everything. So when you want to go through a change and everything like this, and you go through a time there, you're not seeing any result, know that the most important part of change is taking place right now. And that's gotten me through quite a few things. One of the first stages I went through when I went through my change, I said, what in the world? Why is all these things happening? I'm in a spiritual path now, and all it seems like everything all messed up and everything. And that is a process and steps that happen during change. And when you concentrate on confidence and security, and that will help you to get through the next stage and everything like this. And when you are in the mix of change, you're not ever going to stop changing. It's always going to happen. And so what you can do is be more in charge of the change and utilize that and the expansion of that, But when the farmer plants the corn, he doesn't know how many years are going to be on there. And when he does find out, though, that the more proficient he gets at planting corn, the more corn he's going to have. And that's what we do with our development. The more we change, the more we're at ease with what we change and moving along in a manner that's very, very beneficial in that. Okay. Any comments?
I think since I'm 45 right now, and when I hit 40, part of me that just says, I sold it, remove the weeds, and it was a calling. And literally the people who didn't serve purpose or brought me down or whatever it may be, just organically faded from my life.
I'm missing some of the words you're saying.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
I hear you, but I hear it ticking too.
Yeah, it's the earphone things that, yeah. Hold on one second, David. We're getting situated.
Use my speaker here.
Oh, okay.
I hear nothing now.
I know. Give it 1 second. He's just getting sorted here.
Oh, okay.
He was using those type earphones that wireless.
Oh, okay.
Hold on 1 second. Hi. No, can't hear you. No. No. He's like, I can see his lips. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. I'm off the headset. That was the clicking. I apologize. So what I was saying was when I hit 40, I'm 45 now, but when I hit 40, exactly like what you were saying, Dr. Reverend David, sorry, I just had a natural response to finding, I felt authentic. I wasn't the 20-year-old trying to please people. I wasn't the 30-year-old trying to navigate through life. When I hit 40, it was this like epiphany. And what happened was I generally gather friends, like I'm easygoing person, but I learned that, you know, organically the people that didn't really serve a purpose were naturally falling from me. And it was okay. I allowed these things to just kind of disappear and fall away from me, because what I found was as I removed the weeds, the true people, the true guidance, the true source, the true soul tribe, I call them, all came to me with full force because the weeds were no longer blocking their road to me.
Mhm.
And so quite beautiful. And as you were mentioning about manifestation, thought, coming up with an idea, planting the seed, letting it grow, letting it do its thing without blocking it and just allowing it to come into fruition. I've been a really big fan of Abraham Hicks, who does law of attraction. I've been to some of their seminars, I read all their books, and I can't explain it, but I think I mentioned this last time. When I manifest something, like you said, a thought comes into my head. I write it in my little journal. I'll have maybe like 4 or 5 things that maybe it's personal desires, maybe it's things to help other people, maybe it's a wish for money so I can help my mom, whatever the purpose may be. I jot it down on paper and I just let it sit and let that plant grow and the corns to come up. And literally, I'm not even joking, within weeks, sometimes I cross off every single one of those items on my list because they all manifest.
So
Well,
good.
you found your way of going through change.
Yes, I feel very blessed.
And not everyone going to go through that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how dynamic it is for other people, but it is for you. You know what it's like to make change.
Yes. And it
And-
always works out for the best. It always does.
Mm-hmm.
And with
Never for evil.
patience. Yeah, with our patience, just sitting back and, like you said, just putting it there and letting it be.
Yep. The letting it be, like you said, is key. Go with the flow, let it be. And again, as Dr. Sorry, I keep calling you Dr. Reverend David.
Doctor?
Yes.
Dr. David.
How important our thoughts are, like you were saying, a negative thought. I've been in the car before, somebody cuts me off and I'll think in my head, you mother chuckers, being
I know that place.
yes. And you know what now happens when that thought crosses my mind, I rewrite the story. I do a little thing like, you know what? They're in a fast pace to go somewhere. It's their journey. I was not hurt. I just pray that they don't hurt anyone else and that they make it safely to their journey.
All right.
Here's something to add to that. Cause I've been in that so many times and I totally am with you on that. Like my temperament is where it happens right there.
Yeah.
But what has shown to me lately is like I get a message, a clear message from spirit saying, hold on, we're trying to help you here, and I'm like, oh, and my whole entire thing changes, my whole belief, my pattern, everything. It's like, oh, I'm not to get into an accident or I'm to slow down, or I'm to turn, or whatever. There's a reason why we need you to slow down for a minute. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Or there might be another message behind it. It's like, oh, okay. So instead of like me thinking it's against like something like I'm going to get mad at and go outwardly and get upset, I need to internalize like, what is it that's happening here in front of me that's making me think I need to do something different. So it's
And-
pretty neat.
Yeah, and branching off on what you're saying, I remember we had an experience once where I was with my husband. We're going to go to Hawaii, and for some reason I forgot something, our tickets. It was back when we had paper tickets, and so I'm like, I'm so sorry. And he was getting so frustrated because he hates going to the airport or late. I grabbed the tickets. We get in the car, and because of the 3-minute delay, we barely missed a severe accident that happened on the freeway that would have killed us.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
you gotta say, thank you.
I'm like, thank you
Thank
for that
you.
delay. We made it to Hawaii
Yeah.
alive, and that delay was it was a life purpose delay. I just allowed it to do what it had to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Wow.
grateful, It's like,
Yeah.
like thank you for this
Yeah.
moment that we thought was chaos.
Yes. It was actually saving my life.
And you know what I find with the natural law is that, you can apply that in each stage that you have with that, because each stage there's a certain confidence and security that's important even when things aren't happening the way you want them to happen, you still concentrate on the strength of that pattern and
Yeah.
everything. And keep it going, there was time in my development that I thought everything was falling apart, and they were. My life was falling apart, and I thought it was something unconscionable, But I found out it was the best thing that ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I was able to build from that, and so every time something goes screwy, I said, "Oh, I know where I'm at."
Yeah.
And that gives me to go through that. Yes.
Yeah. There's the light at the end. There it is.
Yep. Mhm.
Mhm. It's almost like the vacuum, you're like, you're like, oh no, here we go, change again. And then it's
Yep.
like, oh, there's butterflies and flowers on the other end.
Yes. I totally agree with you. I feel that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So the next time you get into a situation where you think things are useless or anything like this, no, that's a part of you that's changing. There's a part of you that's useless is now being formed into something that's formable.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, those are good places to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Let's get ready for our meditation.
Okay.
This is where we usually have a donation for the class, but let's just know that we're going to go to a meditation and everything like this. So let us concentrate on our breath as this concentration goes through the hands of your being into the breath. Know that you are at peace with yourself. You are igniting peace in your realization. And as you move along with that peace, it moves through your hands, and you understand and know that you are now at peace with yourself. You are at peace. And as the peace goes between your hands and everything like this, there's a realization that goes along with that you realize that you are at one with yourself and at peace with yourself. And as you become more relaxed and that peace, it starts forming throughout your whole body, and it starts settling in the feet area. This is the understanding part of our being. And with each breath, you understand you. As you understand you understand the world that you move in. Just relax and recognize. You're recognizing the peace that's within you. And as it settles in the feet area, the understanding part of our being, you notice that as it settles into the feet, it starts moving toward the ankles and up the legs, feeling all tension, frustration, and nervousness leave. Just relax. Just relax. Recognize and know that you are at one with the world in your being. And as this breath moves from the ankles to the legs, feeling all tension, frustration, and nervousness leave, just relax as you understand the world of life. And as you move along up with the feet, up the legs and up the thighs and up to the hips, relax. You are moving very gently into the world of knowing that you are now moving on yourself and you are at ease with being at ease with yourself and moving forward with that. And as this breath moves to the base of the spine and the small of your back, you notice that it's becoming stronger. This is the strength part of your being, and you are becoming more stronger and activating more health, wealth, and happiness in your life. And as this breath moves up the spine, touching each vertebrae, each nerve, and each vessel, you feel at ease. You feel at ease. And as this breath moves to up the spine, taking care of all burdens that don't belong to you, and taking care of the ones that do belong to you, you are at ease with the energy of relaxation and everything. And as the relaxation moves to the shoulders, the responsibility part of our being, know that you are doing your responsibilities in life. You are doing freedom and ease. Just relax, recognize, and release. As this healing moves to the shoulders, shoulders represent responsibilities in life, and you know you are doing your responsibilities in life, and you do it with freedom and ease. You do it with freedom and ease. And as this healing, and you allow other people to do their responsibilities with that same freedom and ease. Just relax, recognize, and release. As this healing breath moves ever so gently down the arms and reaching out toward the hands, and just relax the hands. Know that you are at one with yourself, and noticing that the energy that you have within yourself is your being at one with yourself. And as you have this energy between your hands, place it in the solar plexus area. Life lives here. You are in life. Life is happiness, health, and wealth. You will eliminate all that hinders you from life, and you become one at ease with your life. And as this breath moves to the stomach area, wisdom is now being ignited within your breath. Each step of change is now understood and move along with the understanding that you are at one with the change that's going on within you. And as you have this energy between your hands, and it goes to the stomach area. Wisdom is now being ignited within you. You are wise in all that you think, say, and do. You are wise. And as the wisdom is being moved to the heart area, the love center of our being, and with each breath, you understand you. As you understand you, you understand the world that you're in, and you recognize the love that is abundant within you. And as it moves to the heart area, which is the love area of your being, and you notice that the ability to understand and be loved is very important and being in your life. And as this breath moves to the throat area, the throat represents power, and you are in command of your life. Know that you are in command of your life. You relax and recognize and release. And as this moves to the face and the image part of our being, and also to the crown of your head, from the tips of your toes, you are relaxing, recognizing, and releasing. As you are in this relaxed healing mode, you notice the path that you're on, and you notice the grass that lined this path, and the grass that lined this path. And you also notice that there's a breeze that touches your body. It's the healing breath of the universe for you to know healing. Life is healing, and you're moving along in a pattern that is very nice and pleasant for you. And as you move along on your path, there's a clearing in front of you for you to move into. The clearing is free for you, and you are moving with an engine of understanding and knowing that this is the highest and best for you as you move into this clearing. And you notice that there is a body of water that is crystal clear and healing to your touch, and healing to your touch. If you choose to submerge into the water and allow healing to take place with you, know that you are in the process of doing that and allowing healing to take place. And you find that there is also paths and streams in this clearing, and now you want to, if you want to explore those paths and streams, now is the time to go and to explore them. Know that you are exploring you, and know that you are at one with yourself. I'm going to leave you here for a few moments, knowing that you're very protected and secure, and knowing that understanding is now being ignited within you. Life is you. Take advantage, and I'll be coming for you in a few moments. Take care and move very gently in the next phase of your faith, of your knowing. Take care. I'll be calling you in a few moments. Take this moment to be being in tune with yourself. very gently now, wherever you are, know that you are at ease with yourself. And just relax, recognize, and release. And as you find yourself in your clearing, if you were in the water, it's time to rise and move out into your being, remembering all that you've seen, felt, and heard, and feeling very refreshed, alert, and keen. If you were exploring the paths and the streams or anything like this, knowing that you are at ease, and your mental and physical consciousness becoming aware, remembering all that you've seen, felt, and heard, and feeling very refreshed, alert, and keen. And as you become more aware and you find yourself in your path, in the clearing, as you move towards your path, mental and physical consciousness are becoming more aware, remembering all that you've seen, felt, and heard, and feeling very refreshed, alert, and keen. As your mental and physical consciousness becomes aware, remembering all that you've seen, felt, and heard, and feeling very refreshed and alert. And when your mental and physical consciousness are fully aware, open your eyes. Okay. Casey, how'd you do?
Oh, that was beautiful. I was in warm waters, so I was on the beach of Cancun with the white sands,
Mm-hmm.
and I see the crystal water, and it's like bath water. So I dunk into it, and I see this treasure chest way deep on the bottom. That's how clear the water is. You can see all the way to the bottom of the ocean. And I'm like, oh, that's the meaning of life. Let me open up this treasure chest and see what the meaning of life is. It's going to give me the answer. So I swim to the bottom with ease, open up the treasure chest, and there's nothing in there at all. It's blank. And then I'm like confused for a second. And then I understood that two words came to mind, or actually three words: live with love. That's what came to me. I rose up out of the up to the top of the surface of the water, saw the beautiful blue skies, saw the tropical trees behind me. I surrendered to the water, get myself relaxed. I lay flat, and the water warmly and calmly takes me right to those warm sands. As I'm now in the warm sand, with the water rushing to my feet nicely and slow. I'm grabbing the sand and I'm feeling the water on my feet, and I'm realizing how interconnected we all are. These are all atoms moving like within our own bodies, and that the water is just a different vibration of atoms, and the sand is a different vibration. And when I felt the sand, I also felt the universe, the micro and the macro. And I realized that we're all connected by little atoms. Even our body, our physical selves, we don't actually connect. There's little atoms that literally float, but because we vibrate at a certain level, we manifest this way. And then through that, I was learning that's how yogis who do yoga are able to levitate, because they've learned the law of physics and how to change their atoms or whatever it may be. So those things came to me, and then that was it.
Oh, that sounds like a good movement.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. You know, the good thing about these meditations is that they're with you all the time now.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta do is think of that moment and it's there.
Yes.
I could totally relate when you were talking about the warmth and the sand. I've been to places such as that, not there in particular, but I've been to Mexico. So, and Hawaii came to mind, and I was like right there with you. Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you, Casey. Okay. Reverend Nancy, how'd you do?
Yeah, I was first I was in the water as I normally usually am. And I had a particular ancestor visit me there. And usually it's like it's because it's spirit world, there isn't any words, but yet through the eyes we're there's the communication. And so there was some things that were said there for this. And then I ended up looking at nature in all different facets. Like it was being shown to me, not just the corn, the way that the world is, there's like a separation or thinking, there's a separation of, earth and human, and they're actually showing us the whole picture. And so it was showing me, and I'm aware it just got deeper, it just got deeper because it was showing me, the bird taking the seed and the bees taking the pollen, and what does that mean for us in our life. And so it just went to a deeper state of understanding, not just the, because I've been hearing about the corn and it means it's so valuable, and now I'm seeing other pictures of other things, and it was very special. So that's where I was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I found with these classes and everything like this, it's a preparation for your week that you're moving into, and there's going to be something coming up in this week that will give you more clear education of what you are and where you are. And sometimes these ideas come up there and they feel real strange, and you may not have the ability to recognize it. But know that you are recognizing yourself as you move along. And when there's something that comes up that is fairly unusual, pay attention to it, because there's going to be a good direction to go to, and it'll help you in your development. Know that to be true.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions today? Comments?
I just, it's interesting. I'm very open to all thoughts, ideas from, psychic ability, mediums, clairvoyance. And I just had an astrology, a woman who's done this for many years. I paid her to do a chart for me. I'm a September 6th baby, Virgo. And so she was recommended highly by a good friend of mine who's a yogi. And we had a Zoom meeting yesterday for an hour and a half. And she's like, she's shown me my chart and she explained the positions of the moons and all this stuff. And she's like, you have huge healing abilities. She's like, just your voice is calming and heals. She's like, you have this gift. And she's like, really go for that. This is your next chapter, is to do things of service and heal. She's like, do you ever just have this like a really strong intuition? I'm like, oh my gosh, it's almost borderline psychic. And I told her I'm doing a self-realization course to grow that part of me, because I feel like if I can attune my natural healing capabilities along with a psychic connection with source, God, I know he's always with me, or we're all together, but to really fine tune that in the next year, I can really start making huge changes to help people for the best.
Yeah. And you know that there's one person that you're going to help the most.
Myself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Hmm.
And you'll be doing all that here.
I know. I'm so excited. I really want to thank you both. I mean, I have so many beautiful guidances, and like I said, I let go and just let life come to me instead of trying to fight it and make it my way.
Right.
And now that I'm doing that, random doors are opening up, and I'm just walking right into them and going, let's see what it holds without any fear. I just walk right into it. It could be a dark room, it could be a light room. It doesn't matter. There's good in dark and there's good in light. There's nothing evil in either.
Right.
It's all beauty.
It's like your treasure chest.
It is. Yeah. I'm like, what's the purpose of life? And there's nothing, which means that your purpose is just live, be
Right.
happy, easy,
Yeah.
so simple.
Yeah.
Yet so many people suffer because they want to be rich and they're trapped by their money, by holding on to, do I have enough? You know, I'm scared about this, or they watch the news and they're fearful about all the stuff in the news. If you just live and like go for a nice, beautiful hike in nature, and like you were saying, Angie, Reverend Angie, about like just being around nature. Like I've been doing so many nature hikes and just feeling God's love through nature and how everything is alive and beautiful and thriving. And that tree right there is as much of a life form as I am. It should be honored and loved and respected as much as I should honor and love myself.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Well,
Good
I
stuff.
want to thank you for coming and sharing this time with us today.
Thank you.
David.
Let's have our a few words. Mother, Father God, we do give thanks for sharing each other's presence here today. As we go on our path, let us extend the love and the protection as in and around and through each one of us to that path, so the highest and best will manifest in our life. When we meet those on our path, let us extend the love that is abundant. We give the thanks. Amen.
Amen.
Angie, we want to stay on here. I want to ask you something.
Sure. I'm going to stop the recording.